and gentlemen, thank you for standing by and good evening. Thank you for joining Sohu's first quarter 2020 earnings conference call. At this time, all participants are in listen-only mode. After management prepare remarks, there will be a Q&A session. Today's conference call is being recorded. If you have any objections, you may disconnect at this time. I would now like to turn the conference over to your host for today's conference call, Huang Pu, Investor Relations Director of Sohu. Please go ahead.
Thanks, operator. Thank you for joining us today to discuss Sohu's first quarter 2020 results. On the call are Chairman and Chief Executive Officer Dr. Charles Zhang, CFO Joanna Lü, and Vice President of Finance James Deng. Also with us today are Changyou CEO Dewen Chen and CFO Yaobin Wang, and Sohu CEO Xiaochen Wang and CFO Zhou Zhou. Before management begins their prepared remarks, I would like to remind you of the company's safe harbor statement in connection with today's conference call. Except for the historical information contained herein, the matters discussed in this conference call are forward-looking statements. These statements are based on current plans, estimates, and projections, and therefore you should not place undue reliance on them. Forward-looking statements involve inherent risks and uncertainties. We caution you that a number of important factors could cause actual results to differ materially from those contained in any forward-looking statement. For more information about the potential risks and uncertainties, please refer to the company's filings with the Securities and Exchange Commission, including its most recent annual report on Form 20-F. With that, I will now turn the call over to Dr. Charles Zhang. Charles, please proceed.
And thank you to everyone for joining our call. Let me, okay, should I not? All right, now. So, during the first quarter of 2020, the COVID-19 outbreak inevitably impacted the overall economy and the advertising industry as well. Facing these challenges, we continued to explore new opportunities and differentiated development strategies. For Sohu Media Portal, as a mainstream media platform, we continue to refine the product to generate and distribute a large amount of timely and accurate information, especially regarding the pandemic and its prevention. For Sohu Video, we proactively explored new opportunities in the live broadcasting of medical and health-related content and provided unique content and valuable information to our audiences. We'll continue to explore diversified revenue sources and ways to further narrow losses. For Changyou, online games performed well during the first quarter, mainly driven by the solid performance of both TLBB PC and the legacy TLBB Mobile. The privatization of Changyou was completed on April 17th, after which Changyou's profit will be wholly attributable to Sohu.com Limited. Going forward, we plan to increase the integration of resources and combine Changyou onto Sohu's platforms. For Sohu, despite the challenging environment during the COVID-19, Sohu's core search business continued to outperform the industry. The search and mobile keyboard recorded new highs in terms of traffic and user base, respectively. Before I go into more detail about our key financial results, please be reminded that since Changyou's cinema advertising business ceased operations in the third quarter of 2019, the results that we will discuss today and comparative figures that we refer to here only cover continuing operations and exclude the cinema advertising business. So for the first quarter of 2020, total revenues, $436 million, up 6% year-over-year and down 11% quarter-over-quarter. On a non-GAAP constant currency basis, total revenues would have been $15 million higher than our reported revenues, which would be a 10% improvement year-over-year. Constant currency basis, yeah. Net brand advertising revenue, $26 million, down 40% year-over-year and 39% quarter-over-quarter. Search and search-related revenue, advertising revenue, $238 million, up 1% year-over-year and down 13% quarter-over-quarter. Online game revenues, $133 million, up 35% year-over-year and 1% quarter-over-quarter. Non-GAAP net loss attributed to Sohu.com Limited was $18 million, compared with a net loss of $52 million a year ago, the first quarter of 2019, and net income of $7 million in the fourth quarter of 2019. Excluding the profit loss generated by Sogo, non-GAAP net loss attributable to Sohu.com Limited was $8 million. Net loss $8 million, compared with a net loss of $51 million in the first quarter of 2019 and a net loss of $6 million in the fourth quarter of 2019. Now let me go through some of the key businesses. First of all, Media Portal and Sohu Video. During the first quarter of 2020, the whole country and even the whole world suffered from the outbreak of COVID-19. Although we were inevitably affected by the pandemic, as a mainstream media platform, we continuously focused on generating and distributing helpful real-time reports and live broadcasts to provide accurate and reliable pandemic information and prevention knowledge. On the product side, we continue to promote interactions between our core products and enhance the social features through product innovations, social network features. We inserted a live broadcast feature in our Sohu News app in the information stream, where users can automatically transfer or jump to the Sohu Video app to watch the live broadcast. We can instantly switch back to the Sohu News app to browse other news with a single click. So these upgrades allow users to access timely and accurate information on Sohu's product matrix and further consolidate our advantage and influence as a mainstream media platform. On the content side, our media portal, in addition to our efforts consistently refine our products to provide readers with a better user experience, we also work hard to seize authors' fragmented time and facilitate the generation of high-quality short and long-form content. This has further improved communication and interaction between readers and writers. For Sohu Video, during the COVID-19 outbreak, we accelerated the deployment of our live broadcasting capability and launched a highly regarded 24-hour medical broadcast, and it has focused on health topics. And related to pandemic news and prevention, we are seeking the opportunity to actively explore other verticals and also building knowledge platform that provides users with timely and accurate information and content. To integrate the live broadcasting with our premium content using during the release of our drama, TV long-form drama, Well-Intended Love 2 奈何报销期2 and High School Big Band 我成了他班主任. We introduced a multi-person microphone relay feature, 直播分屏连麦, which allowed the audiences to interact with the show's actor directly. The new initiative improved user engagement and loyalty and further boosted interest in long and short-form videos. On the monetization side, it is expected that the negative impact of the pandemic on the overall economy will continue for some time, though it appears that China is currently on track for recovery. Our advertising business and faced big headwinds in the first quarter. Nevertheless, we actively worked on diversifying our revenue by integrating our resources and leveraging the synergies between our core products. Starting in April, some of our events resumed, such as our drone photography contest and Sohu Tech 5G Summit. And furthermore, during the quarter, with the adoption of the above-mentioned multi-person microphone relay feature, we launched a new live broadcast called Boss 1+1, which we invite celebrities in different industry segments to share their inside views on trends in the economy and the market. With the events and live broadcasts to help advertisers further expand their branding and promote our position as a mainstream media platform. We'll continue to explore new opportunities to secure advertising budgets in the coming quarter. Next, turning to Changyou. Following Changyou's privatization on April 17th, Changyou's profit will be wholly attributable to Sohu.com Limited. However, since these transactions was completed in the second quarter, the change is not reflected in our first quarter financials. Going forward, we plan to increase the integration of resources and combine Changyou onto Sohu's platforms for more opportunities. For the first quarter of 2020, online game performed well. The Changyou financial results exceeded the top end of our prior guidance. For PC games, revenue for the first quarter rose significantly on a sequential basis, mainly due to the better-than-expected performance of TLBB PC. Due to COVID-19 outbreak, player engagement and willingness to pay saw notable improvements in a short period of time. For mobile games, player engagement remained stable during the quarter with the launch of a new expansion packs for the Spring Festival for Legacy TLBB Mobile, as well as several holiday events. However, we expect revenues from TLBB PC and TLBB Mobile and user engagement to decline in the second quarter of 2020 as people get back to work. Looking ahead, Changyou will continue to execute its core strategy of top games. It will continue to focus on MMORPG mobile games while developing some casual and strategy games. Meanwhile, Changyou intends to expand more into the international market for games. Key games across different genres being developed in an orderly way, and we believe that Changyou is well positioned to roll out high-quality games for players in the future. Lastly, for Sohu, in first quarter 2020, despite the setbacks in the macro environment and online advertising industry in China amid COVID-19, Sohu's core search business continued to outperform the industry. Both the core search and mobile keyboard recorded new highs in the quarter, thanks to the surge of users' demand for reliable information and high efficiency during the pandemic. Sohu mobile keyboard further expanded its DAUs by 9% year-over-year to 482 million, reinforcing its position as the third largest Chinese mobile app in terms of DAUs, according to iResearch. Further, Sohu carried out an all-round upgrade across the core business, leveraging the leading AI technologies and tapped into new areas with high development potential. In addition, Sohu's smart hardware business maintained steady progress. Looking ahead, we expect Sohu to resume healthy growth post the pandemic, with a steady momentum in search business and acceleration of growth in other businesses. Now let me turn over to the call to Joanna, who will walk you through our financial results. Joanna.
Thank you, Charles. I will walk you through the key financials of our four major segments for the first quarter of 2020. All of the numbers that I will mention are all on a non-GAAP basis. You can find a reconciliation of non-GAAP to GAAP measures on our IR website. For Sohu Media Portal, quarterly revenues were $50 million, down 33% year-over-year and 34% quarter-over-quarter. Quarterly operating loss was $23 million, compared with an operating loss of $35 million in the same quarter last year. For Sohu Video, quarterly revenues were $23 million, down 11% year-over-year and up 8% quarter-over-quarter. Quarterly operating loss was $11 million, compared with an operating loss of $34 million in the same quarter last year. For Changyou, quarterly revenues, including 17173, were $136 million, up 32% year-over-year and 1% quarter-over-quarter. Changyou posted an operating profit of $56 million, compared with an operating profit of $45 million in the same quarter last year. For Sohu, quarterly revenues were $257 million, up 2% year-over-year and down 15% quarter-over-quarter. Net loss was $31 million, compared with a net loss of $3 million in the same quarter last year. Before we go through the outlook for the second quarter of 2020, please note that after the completion of Changyou's privatization, Changyou changed its policies for its PRC subsidiaries with respect to distribution of cash dividends. As a result, it is expected that Changyou will recognize an additional accrual of withholding income tax of $88 million for the second quarter of 2020. For the second quarter of 2020, we expect total revenue to be between $410 million and $445 million. Brand advertising revenues to be between $32 million and $37 million. This implies annual decrease of 16% to 27% and a sequential increase of 25% to 45%. Sohu revenues to be between $260 million and $280 million. This implies annual decrease of 8% to 14% and a sequential increase of 1% to 9%. Online game revenues to be between $102 million and $112 million. This implies annual increase of near to 10% and a sequential decrease of 16% to 24%. Excluding expected accrual of withholding income tax of $88 million discussed above, non-GAAP net income and loss attributable to Sohu.com Limited to be between a net loss of $5 million and a net income of $5 million, and non-GAAP net income and loss per fully diluted ADS to be between a net loss of 13 cents per ADS and a net income of 13 cents per ADS. Excluding the expected accrual of withholding income tax, GAAP net loss attributable to Sohu.com Limited to be between $0 to $10 million, and GAAP loss per fully diluted ADS to be between $0 to 25 cents. Excluding the profit and loss generated by Sohu, and further excluding withholding income tax, non-GAAP net income attributable to Sohu.com Limited to be between $0 and $10 million, and GAAP net income and loss attributable to Sohu.com Limited to be between a net loss of $4 million and a net income of $6 million. This forecast reflects Sohu's management's current and preliminary view, which is subject to substantial uncertainties, particularly in view of the potential ongoing impact of the COVID-19, which remains difficult to predict. And this concludes our prepared remarks. Operator, we would now like to open the call to questions.
Thank you. Ladies and gentlemen, we will now begin the question and answer session. To ask questions on the phone, please press star 1 and wait for a name to be announced. If you would like to cancel a request, you can also press the pound or hash key. Once again, to ask question, please press star 1. First question comes from the line of Eddie Leung of Bank of America Merrill Lynch. Please go ahead.
Hi, good evening, guys. Just a question on perhaps Changyou and the other one on the media portal business. On Changyou, could management give us more color on the potential pipeline for the upcoming couple of quarters? We understand that there should be some uncertainty, but that would be great to hear management target and plan. And then on the media portal business, probably also related to Sohu video advertising as well. We have seen a big decline in the first quarter because of the coronavirus outbreak, but we are also seeing a pretty nice recovery in the second quarter. So in terms of the advertiser segments, could you give us some color on the strength and weakness of different advertiser industries, and which ones have been driving the recovery in the second quarter? Thank you.
Okay. 第一个问题是说今后2个季度有什么其他的 pipeline， 就这个 pipeline games next two quarters。
OK， 今后2个季度畅游自研的产品有可能上线的有俄罗斯方块、鹿鼎记，然后 代理的游戏在 Q2 已经上线了，是有这个韩国的在韩国上线的《拳皇全明星》。我们在未来2个季度应该还有放置类的游戏以及 SLG 的游戏要上线。对，但是这个是代理的产品。
Hi, it's Yujia translating for the one you have been today. For self-developed games, we will have Tetris and DMD Mobile for the next 2 quarters. For licensed games, we have one that have been launched in South Korea. That is the KOF Extreme Match. And we also plan to launch some of the strategy games in the coming quarters.
还有吗？
还有一个那个塔防类的产品。
As well as a tower defense product.
俄罗斯方块，好，刚才说了 Russian Square， 叫俄罗斯方块，英文叫什么 ？Russian Square？Tetris。好。Okay, to answer your second question about the media, yes, the brand advertising actually includes both the portal and the video. It suffered some, there's an impact in the first quarter, but if you look at the numbers, actually, according to our forecast or estimate, business outlook, that it recovered actually pretty strongly, right? Above the average, I think above every industry level. So it's mostly from the portal side, but we are basically, as I said in the script, that we actually channeled through the different apps, the Sohu News app and the Sohu Video app, especially the live broadcasting all happening on the Sohu Video app. But all these portal advertisers and they can have innovative new marketing marketing initiative with our live broadcasting with both apps combined, so that especially when people are not, especially offline gathering are kind of restricted or limited, or there is limited number of people appear in the same hall, the live broadcasting and the online format of communication actually help them to launch new products. So that's because of our innovation in the live broadcasting area in the first quarter, we are able to get some real good advertising deals. So the overall portal advertising have recovered stronger than expected. And I can see some auto industry is there's kind of a rebound in the second quarter. They need to market their products. It's almost like a rebound, I would say. And also some other industries. I think led by the auto industry, right? 就是汽车行业，还有其他行业吗？其他行业的这个复苏。没有了。Yeah. I hope I answered.
Thank you very much.
Okay. All right.
Thank you for the questions. I will take the next questions from the line of Thomas Zhang of Jefferies. Please go ahead.
Hi, management. Thank you for taking my questions. This is Mavis asking on behalf of Thomas. Could management provide some colors on the SME and KA advertising mix? And moreover, could you talk more about the profitability timing? Thank you.
Yeah, the SME, I think for the Sohu side, our recovery mostly are due to the brand advertising of some large brands, because they can take advantage of our innovative products, the live broadcasting. Well, I think Sohu side or Xiaochuan can comment on the SME side. That represents SME companies' advertising trend seems recovering slower than the brand from our experience. And And the profitability, you're asking about profitability, right? Time schedule for profitability?
Yeah.
Okay, if you look at our forecast for Q2, excluding Sohu, the group, because in Q2 there's excluding 17 days of profit contribution from Zhang. There's in 90 days you have like 73 days of contribution of earning from Changyou, and with the cost management of Sohu, and also the relatively recovery of the brand advertising, we have a forecast of actually profit, excluding Sohu, of between $0 to $10 million. You can see that. So that's basically the time, the schedule is already as Q2 we are going to be profitable. Yeah. Any other questions?
Thank you.
SME.
The next question.
Okay. All right.
Beg your pardon. Please continue.
SME is slower, right? Recovering from a Sohu experience. 就是中小企业在第二季度恢复起来稍微慢一点，不如品牌恢复得快。Yeah, which is true.
Thank you.
Okay.
Next question. Thank you. Our next question comes from the line of Alicia Yap of Citigroup. Please go ahead.
Hi. Good evening, Charles and management team. Thanks for taking my questions. So wanted to get a sense on the impact of the postponing of the Olympic in terms of the ad budget this year. So how are advertisers spending commitment change? Are these budgets gone with the postponing of the event, or are they redeploying some of that to other events? And then related to the guidance, which I think you alluded to, is actually much better than the industry standard. So how much are we expecting to get from the new live broadcasting initiative in the second quarter, and how should we think about into the second half as well? Will Sohu actually get benefit from these new features that we are introducing? Thank you.
Yeah, I think definitely the postponement of the Tokyo Olympic it's among the many things that cannot postpone. So it's very hard to see this as this one event, what's the impact on advertising. So yeah, as we have improved or better than expected results for Q2 because these live broadcasting application of the technologies and not only helped with some of those brand advertisers to secure deals, secure advertising deals from them. It's just, and also it helped. It become very much needed because all companies need to have an online offline strategy, and Sohu Video or Sohu the Matrix can provide that solution to them. And also, but most importantly, it actually helped Sohu's own events. As if you look at 2019, we had a lot of events, marketing events, or we call it content activities as contents, because, and then all these almost due to the COVID-19 we postponed it. But because of our own technology, we are able now to launch it in Q2. Like in Q2 we launched the drone contest event, and with online offline technology help, and also we launched the talents for 校草怎么说 campus basically the contest of 校草怎么说校草大赛 and also we were able to hold the it took place yesterday, right? The 5G forum with online, offline. With like probably only 200 people or less than 200 people, at the site in the conference hall, but it was there are hundreds of thousands of people are watching from other places, and also even some panelists can actually interact with the panel from anywhere in the world. So that helped us. So it's really actually these new online broadcasting technologies that helped our own events. And these events are a kind of a catalyst or some kind of, to help us to secure some really marketing deals. As they did in 2019, and then it's continued to, it's working because of this new approach. So I think this trend will continue. In the second half of the year, we will refine our technology, and with also new applications, new like application of VR or even 5G technologies. So we'll be able to help to have a more innovative tools for companies to market themselves at the time of COVID-19, and so we will look at a continued a profitable quarters after quarters. I'm saying that excluding Sohu. Of course, we hope that Sohu will also recover in the second or third quarter. Yeah.
Okay, thank you, Charles.
Thank you for the questions. Once again, if you would like to ask question, please press star 1.
Okay, great. Okay.
We do have the last questions from the line of Forum Tech Research. Chang Chu, please go ahead.
Hey, good evening, Charles. After Changyou's privatization, I just wonder, do you guys have any changes in terms of a strategy, in terms of a resource allocation? Will you keep Changyou going, grow, put necessary resource into it to grow the gaming business?
I think for the most part, I think Changyou will continue to operate like a independent company, and then to really have good games and really really compete in the game industry, just like a independent company. And then the group, the Sohu side, can only try to if you can do something, if we can help Changyou to grow. Let's say some of those games are suitable or good for the Sohu platform to market the games, and then it will very cost effective. We'll do that, but still, Changyou, there is a lot of other platforms that Changyou have to spend money to buy to distribute the games. So, and there is some synergy, but I will be very cautious. We want to make sure Changyou continue to fight and compete like a standalone company and compete with the industries, winning industries.
Thank you for the questions. Once again, to ask question, you may press star 1. At this time, there are no further questions on the line. Thank you, ladies and gentlemen. That does conclude the conference call for today. You may now disconnect your lines.
Okay.